Welcome everyone to the live stream. Just waiting for YouTube and Twitch to come online. Some kind of internet connection problem. Just wait for this. Okay, great. So now we're live. Welcome to today's Crypto and Stocks TA live stream for today. I'm in the USA. It is November 7th, 2021. It's Sunday, about 7:20 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I got a couple of comments this week. Please don't worry about this live stream expiring because I give swing trade setups and more investing type of setups, so longer term setups. So if you just miss it by one day, you're not going to miss the whole, chart setup or educational setup. So let's go ahead and try to go a little faster today. I like to do more chart analysis than answering questions. So I'm just going to go down the list. Obviously, we had some bull breaks over the weekend, so I'm going to talk about those first. All right, so really quick, let's just back up, get our bearings here on total. So we obviously broke through the resistance. Okay, so this is notable. We had the end of October to the beginning of November. This yellow box here, this is my trading view idea that we broke through. We did retest the 2.4 trillion support, and we're rallying up right now. There is more room to go up. Okay, so it's just a matter of how many people are going to buy this week versus sell, right? If there are more buyers than sellers, we're going up, right? So just to make sure people are aware of this setup, that I was talking about this for almost 3 weeks straight, is we're going to get the first rally. I'll draw it. Get the first rally, the pullback, and then more continuation. Now the question is how long will the continuation sustain and last for? We're looking at the whole crypto market right now, total. Total too, same deal. The entire crypto market cap, besides Bitcoin, we broke through the resistance. Now we need to hold above the 1.5 trillion range on total 2. Total 3, everything except Bitcoin and Ethereum. We finally broke up above that. But what I'm expecting to happen is once we get kind of too high on these shorter term time frames, I'm talking like a 1 minute, 5 minute, 15 minute, then you might see a little bit of a pullback down before some continuation to the upside. Okay, so now we're looking at Bitcoin market cap. Now, the reason why I can feel it all over the internet is people are getting excited about Bitcoin is because we just had a little bit of a low support bounce into a possible upside down head and shoulders continuation pattern. All right, so I'll explain what that means. But you have to just keep in mind that the actual Bitcoin market cap, though, is towards the top of its resistance range, right? So if somebody, this is looking backwards now, but if somebody bought on October, like September 30th, like I was saying on my live stream, or late July, right? Those are obviously way, way better areas of value than trying to buy like right now. But can we still go up higher? Of course we could. We could still go higher. But what I'm saying is eventually we might hit some temporary top and then pull back one more time. So you just don't want to be the person who buys like the exact top and it crashes on you a little bit, and then you panic sell and you just lost money for no reason, right? So you just want to be aware of that. Like, where are we in the structure? We're towards the top. Okay, this is not the lowest price of Bitcoin market cap ever. All right, Bitcoin futures, we got to take a look at this because in stocks, we have a full week this week. There's no stock holiday this week, even though it's Veterans Day on Thursday in the USA. The stock market's still open. Okay, so we're going to have a full week of trading and investing opportunities this week. And again, the only thing I'm concerned about futures is you have this kind of double resistance zone on futures, right? This X marks a spot is what I'm saying. If we have some serious bearish events, we would most likely pull back down to like a 54,000 area, because that would make sense in terms of this pulling back for one more low. So in case we come back down, like I'm saying, to 53,000 or 52,000, I might load up more on Bitcoin. But this is just educational. But if it happens to break out, let's say we go 70,000, retest 67,000, then we might not come down for a little while. All right. I just need to really paint the picture for people is that understand where we are right now in the values, like the price value. Is if somebody asks me, hey, no FOMO charts, is this a low Bitcoin price? The answer is it depends on your time frame, your time horizon. If you're talking about like a 5-minute, 15-minute, actually, I shouldn't use the futures chart for this, but if you're talking about 5-minute, 15-minute, no, it's not a low spot of value, right? It was a low spot of value 2 days ago or like 12 hours ago, right? So that's why you got to be a little careful of once you start seeing a lot of green on the watch list, you got to be a little careful because it was once red. It was once much lower, okay? So, but on longer term time frames, like a daily, a weekly, we could get some more continuation in the next couple of weeks. But I'm saying in the next like 5 minutes from now, the next 2 hours from now, you might actually see a little bit of pullback. Also, the Asia session is open. Okay, the time difference right now, because USA has daylight savings time that I believe ended. So yesterday. So the time, it's just a little bit different, but the Asia market's open right now. All right, so all I want to say about futures is just watch this X. X marks the spot resistance box zone. For futures, we got to break above 67,705. I'll take the X away, right? But it's looking interesting to me. It's looking interesting that we found support at 58,000 basically. We bounced up from that. Looks like bulls are going to try to retest one more time. Why am I saying all this? It's because Bitcoin, once you understand Bitcoin and total market crypto cap and Bitcoin futures, now you're starting to think more like the professionals think. You know what I mean? You're not just looking at altcoin number 1,000 on the list only and checking that only every day. We're looking at the whole market. Also, why do we bounce? I'm looking at the Bitcoin dominance chart now, BTC.D, and you can see that I'm building a case, right? I'm trying to stay unbiased as possible, but I was saying on last week's stream is that we're in this potential 618 zone. We might see a little bounce, and that's why Bitcoin's up right now. So just don't get too hyper excited right now. When we're at these levels on Bitcoin, like the 65,000, as a trader, we have to try to control our emotions, right? Don't start thinking 1 million Bitcoin to the moon in 1 month. Don't do that, right? Because you have to realize if Bitcoin price is going to go up, that means people have to buy. People need money to buy. Is it the time for people to buy right now? The charts might say yes, but people's economic status and situation might say differently. Also, I noticed that whenever we get to October and November, I believe like holiday shopping spree feelings come up in people. Like it happens every year. There's volatility in October in the markets. And like right here in October, you see this rally up here. Volatility in October. Usually in the USA and America, after Thanksgiving holidays, there's Black Friday shopping. There's, Cyber Monday shopping on Amazon and stuff. Like people get all excited about shopping for stuff. They want to buy something, right? So that's kind of why this volatility buy and sell happens in October, November, December, in my opinion. It's the holiday shopping feeling. Emotions. All right, so now we finally get to the Bitcoin chart. Now, I need to explain this to people. So what I was saying is the two situations that we might have. About 2 weeks ago, I called this, or it might have been a week ago, called this potential upside down head and shoulders, a bullish price pattern of 6%. If that broke up, that's why you see my blue line up here at the 66, 67,000 was the target. We did pull back to retest, and I might have said the pattern's over, but the next pattern set up, and we continued out of this bull pennant. You see the yellow triangle? So it was like two patterns in one. There's the upside down head and shoulders, and we turn it to a pennant. So now if I measure the pennant, that's still a 5-6% up. That's right exactly to my target, 66,000. All right. So if if I'm going to long this right now, I'm not going to say you, but me, I would have to do a decent amount of risk, like 4%, and target my 8% or 6% to the upside, and I leave that trade alone. If I'm just trying to swing trade this particular pattern. All right. But always have to prepare yourself for potential downside if this thing fails, because you see we're right here on the resistance zone of Bitcoin. Like some whale could come in tomorrow and just sell $50 million and we'll start crashing, right? So you never know what's going to happen 100%. You got to prepare yourself. So just in case if we do come down, where are support levels? 60,000, 58,000, 55, 54,000. And if you're in my free Discord group, I already wrote the levels for you. I just posted it right before I went on. There's resistance and support. So on my list, resistance 63,000, meaning if we pump up, we have to pass through 63,000. We already did that within 1 hour of me writing it. Then 64,283, we just broke that. Hello, bulls for now. But the big number is 66,000 and 70,000 way up here, okay? So psychologically, you have to think about it. If we hit 70,000 and we hold that, like people are going to get real excited about Bitcoin. But the question is instead of running on emotion and hype, is what's your trade plan? How are you going to manage the trades? How are you going to manage your position size? How are you going to manage your profit targets? What time horizon are you on? Are you going to be a day trader, a medium-term swing trader? You're going to invest for a year, long-term? Like you have to have some kind of plan. You can't just follow people on the internet. Like I'm talking about like hype chat rooms. I'm not talking about my stream or my Discord because usually I'm very, I do longer term targets and I stick to that idea. I don't flip flop my ideas every day around, right? So you just want to watch out for those chat rooms like online. I'm talking about people saying like Bitcoin 100,000 in 2 days. It's like, no, it doesn't really work like that anymore, right? Bitcoin's different now. So I would just say watch out for these resistances, alrighty. And the only thing is on the intraday, okay, we just had some big bull volume in the Asia session, right? But it is kind of overbought. So we might pump up 65, 66, you know what I mean? But I'm not FOMOing to this, right? Just because we get this one pump up after this consolidation over the weekend, people get super excited, right? This is the setup. We broke out of this. And I said on the stream, I believe it was a couple of days, might have been Friday, this is a good area of value, 60. So I'm not sure if somebody was watching and understood that I was telling people this is going to hit this level exactly, right? So you can rewind if you want to double check. But it rallied out. We had another pennant and continuation, a break of resistance. That's why we're getting this. Double the targets, right? 2 to 5% from the breakout. Let's see what TA we got. Boom, exactly 5% to the breakout. So I'm not going to jump into this right now. The setup was here for 24 hours. And I called it 2 times. Okay, so that's why it's important to kind of watch the beginning of the crypto stream of my streams. I'm giving a lot of free education here. So free information. All right, so let's go down. I'm going to go rapid fire. Okay, so I'm more of a swing trader. I don't day trade anymore for many reasons. But let's go on Ethereum. If you can't see something, just let me know. I'll try and go rapid fire. Let's go 2 minutes each. All right, so Bitcoin, I just told you the setup is longer term. There is some room to go up, but shorter term, we might pull back over the next 24 hours. But next couple of weeks, we could still see this continue up to try to retest the 67, 70,000. Next, Ethereum. All right, so Ethereum is our lead altcoin for now. On the 4 hour and the 1 hour, we did have this low oversold resistance back test, and that's why we're up 8%. You can see here the break of this upper trend line. Again, another setup. This is a clone of the Bitcoin setup. So watching for this. Okay, we just 2 weeks or 1 week ago, we had the same setup. You buy the support, you measure it, and then you set your targets at the resistance, right? If you're disciplined, swing trader. So we already hit this. Now what I'm looking for is It is in the overbought zone, so we might see an additional pump up just on Bitcoin sympathy play. But short term, this thing looks like it wants to pull back in the next like hour or two. Long term, we could get some continuation, but it looks like it's trying to target 5,000. See that? I'd be a little bit careful though, because I want to make sure this 4,500 backtest really holds for sure. Because you just don't want to be that person who's going to long Ethereum at the top and this thing pulls back on you 25%, you panic sell, and there's no point in doing any of that, right? So just be careful. You got to manage your account. Okay. There is a little bit of momentum loss. It's what I'm concerned about on Ethereum. Is at some point, eventually, we should get a pullback down. Eventually. Right, so that's where if I'm gonna put a larger position size, I'm hoping we might get one more pullback down if it's possible, but who knows? Maybe September 28th was the last major pullback down before we have a big FOMO rally in the global stage. All right, Binance Coin. So Binance Coin, this setup was here for a very long time. All right, so literally on the September 30 stream, I just had to point this out to people that I drew this exact triangle saying hello, or not hello, but talking to myself, but say hello from no FOMO charts. There's something interesting here, right here, a support, right? A support level. So just a disciplined swing trader would have said, okay, if I'm gonna buy the support here, I'm gonna target the top of the triangle, which is 36%. If we backtest the triangle, which yes, we did, we could go an additional 36%, which is exactly what happened. Well, I went a little more than that, but you know, the target was completed is what I'm saying. We also had an upside down hand and shoulder. There's a lot of this kind of setup. Right? So now that we're at the upper resistance zone, almost the all-time high on Binance Coin, you want to be a little bit careful about this. Okay, people getting a little excited on the 5-minute 15. Although the 5-minute 15 is a relative oversold at the time of this live stream. But if we see here the trend line down on the downside, okay, we're hitting our first support level now. If we break bear, we could come back down to 600. We did have this double top on the 1 hour. But it looks like it's probably going to stop at some point, probably in the lower 600s. Maybe like 620 or something like that. So, you know, day trading support would be kind of somewhere in this area, like 620, 600, okay, for an interesting long. So let me go ahead and just put some alerts on there. I'm trying to go fast, but, you know, you got to, if you're serious about trading, you got to put your alerts on here. So day trade support, long entry number 1. And I know if you have a free account, you only get one alert. So maybe consider a pro account on TradingView. So you can at least try to get yourself, you know, some alerts on the system for yourself. That's why I like swing trading. I don't have to look at the computer all day long. I don't have to be chained to my desk. Like it, you know what I mean? That's the beauty of swing trading. Next, Cardano. All right, this is kind of a messy chart. Let me just start this one over. So messy. Cardano. Cardano hit its all-time high on this chart of $3. So now, if we have this pivot point, I like to use my Fibonacci on a logarithmic chart because of this coin. And now you see, what is this larger pattern playing out? It's a larger consolidation. The triangle is kind of sloppy, but you can clearly see the downside bottom part of the support here at $1.91. Might have to use candle wicks for this. So we could probably draw something like that. It's kind of dirty, right? There are multiple patterns in here. There's the first trend line, then there's the triangle sideways right here that broke bear, and now it's sympathy rally with Bitcoin. So this is kind of an interesting play in that it felt like Cardano got squeezed down by the bears, got pushed down by the bears quite a bit because there wasn't a large significant bounce up on this price action. So I'm just going to draw it like this. And if Cardano happens to break out of this triangle, meaning if Bitcoin's really going to rally as well, it could go 7%. It could go up to 220. It's an interesting target. If it goes 14%, right to our 236 target, 234. These are two bull targets on Cardano. If somebody's going to try to long this right now, educational wise, right, you have to have quite a big stop loss. So can't really put a lot of huge position size on, but it's like the risk to reward is not perfect. It's not great right now. It would have been better if I bought it right here on the end of October, right into this flush down, into the bottom of the trend line right there. Okay, so you have to look at it two ways. There is a descending like wedge, or is a descending triangle. But either way, this is not the most bullish pattern on Cardano. So I'm not super interested on Cardano right now. But if somebody's got to try to do that, you got to hold it for a long time, like a month or something like that, to try to let that play out. But if you zoom out, you zoom way out, and we try to get some extended trend lines on this guy, you could see there we could have a serious drop in a bad case scenario. But the fact that we lost this secondary trend line, the July 23rd and the September 20th, this is why I'm not super excited about Cardano, because it already had a monster rally. You know what I mean? Like this thing went 110,000%. Like, are you kidding me? It's like beautiful. That's what every crypto investor dreams of, right? So the fact it's already 10,000% for now. So that's why it's like, okay, we could keep going another 40%, but there might be another coin that outperforms Cardano at this point. Next, Solana, everyone's favorite interested coin. All right, so what I'm gonna say on Solana, one second. Yes, Bitcoin continuing up to 65,000 resistance, but again, you have to think about it. Bitcoin cannot go to $100,000, or it could, but it's very unlikely Bitcoin's going to go to $100,000 in like one day. All right. So even if the price is going up while I'm streaming right now, I am not going to chase that because I know the next pullback is the proper long entry, not right now for a swing trader. The proper long entry was 2 days ago, right? So any disciplined swing trader would be taking some profit right now on their Bitcoin. They're not buying more unless they're going to hold for like 10 years or something, like 5 years. All right, so this is the interesting thing about Solana is once you get these extended trend lines up, now you can see what we're dealing with here is if we happen to break down on Solana, it could be a significant breakdown, right? What's our support, like a $200? This lower trend line is the bear target. If we happen to go up 300, 250, just above where we are right now. And remember, Solana is in its weekly uptrend, so it's trying to just survive here like this. Okay, so I'm expecting some point here we might get a short-term top out. But we did have the upside down head and shoulders. Let me see if that target has been completed. Yes, it has. Almost 2 times the target. So for me to focus on this, I would just trust my EMAs at this point. Okay, as long as your EMAs are up crossed, it's technically still in an uptrend. Okay, I would be concerned if we start losing an hourly uptrend on Solana. If we start downtrending hard, I'm like, okay, there's a problem now. Or just a large consolidation. All right, so you have to remember, if you're a swing trader, the point is you're trying to buy low. You know what I'm saying? You're not trying to buy the top. That's what shorts buy. Shorts buy the top to short it down. That's how they make money. Longs make money by buying low. So are we low right now? Not really. Where were we low? End of October right here. This triangle pattern. 3 days in a row. Actually, this is like 1 week in a row of buying, right? And you just got to commit to it. Put some position size on there, a little bit of risk, not everything. Below the candle body wick, and you target at least 14%. We went way up. We went like a 33%. You had a 5-to-1, beautiful 5-to-1 trade. That is swing trading discipline. And then if someone's really disciplined, they would sell like right now for the trade, not their investment, for the trade. Okay, next. Doge. All right, so Doge is different because there's so much Elon Musk influence. with Dogecoin and Shiba Inu and Tesla. And so, we just saw that Twitter poll that he ran over the weekend saying, like, should he sell 10% of his shares? And like 2 million people said yes. So I would track that a little bit carefully. That might have some effect on Dogecoin. But where we are right now is, let's get our support so we're not flying blind here. Okay, we did have, for me, there was this head and shoulders that was calling on Doge for like almost 2 weeks straight, where we got the back test. This didn't really go complete. So the 24% target is still up here at 32 cents. And then like a 36 cents. So this is still the upper target range if we're going to continue. Let me bring up a 4-hour so get a little bit more price on the chart. What I'm looking at is this kind of trend line down here. A little sloppy on the charts. Actually, no, it's tight. It's tight with the counterbody wick. So I'm kind of looking at this. I'm looking at Doge like this right now. Or you could tighten it down more. This makes sense too. Is you have another a symmetrical triangle building up on this daily chart. All right, so what's the target? Conservative target would be 24% from a breakout, kind of basically exactly where we said, 35 cents. If it goes mega bull, it could go 25 to 50% up, which is a 40-cent target. I'm giving you bull targets right now. But if for whatever reason we pull back on Bitcoin, right, we could pull back down to 23 cents. That's negative 12% down. And if we really break down out of here, another 12% down to 20 cents. So you want to watch out for both directions. Okay, and the break of either of these on the triangle is the setup, right? You just got to be able to commit to it and put a reasonable stop loss with a small amount of capital if you're trying to trade, and then put the target up and then just commit to the stop loss and the take profit target on a small amount of capital, and then you just let it go as a trader. Okay, you just let it go as a trader. So this is how you have less FOMO. Is this bottom side trend line was here for like 28 days straight, right? So I kept highlighting that on the bottom side. It's just a matter of, do I have alerts set up? Do I have, orders set up for this kind of thing? So let's go ahead and execute that. Okay, you want to take action? We made a mental plan. Now take action. What are you going to do? Okay, so if you're not going to put an order, I'm going to put an alert. For me, I'm going to put a tighter alert, maybe right above this support level, like 28 cents. So at 28 cents, I put Doge USDT. Possible breakout long entry potential. I'm saying possible because it kind of needs to break out of here. It needs to break out of like 30 and hold 30, 29 before we get this big. I'm talking about this. Right. And let me put another one. I want to see the breakdown of support if we're going to lose it. So if we lose 25 cents, put an alert here. This is my intraday support level breakdown. Watch this. Okay, so now you have some alerts at least if I'm paying attention to my email and my phone text. Email is that now you can see whichever direction this thing is going to go, I already have a plan for it. Okay, and people are thinking like, oh, why? It doesn't matter for swing trading. Like people, I know a lot of day traders watch this, but the point is, it's like, okay, do you want to make 2% or do you want to make 65%? Right? You want to make 50% profit? How long do you have to hold that? Just 30 days. That's doable if somebody has patience and emotional control, right? Versus somebody trading a 5 minute trying to say, I just want to get this one, or 1 minute trying to get this one scalp. And it's like, all right, that's fine. It's 2%, right? But only international people on leverage can do that. But if you mess that up like 50 times in a row, which is totally possible day trading in 1 month, like you just blow up your account, right? That's why I don't do that anymore. USA, we don't have leverage in here in the States on crypto for the masses. Okay, so Uni. The thing with Uni is it already had its nice rally, but it's kind of faded down and consolidated to the side now. So Uni kind of lost its momentum, so to speak. You could draw this trend line as such. You could draw that as well, and then it's actually tightening up into a symmetrical triangle to the side like this. So uni is gonna make it's squeezing right now. It's gonna plus or minus 30% target up or down. If Bitcoin goes up, uni is probably gonna go up, right? But the stop loss somebody needs on this guy. Yeah, because we had an upside down head and shoulders into a consolidation. So the market hesitating a little bit. Everyone's just really, really watching Bitcoin right now, but the downside is like a 10%, upside 20% minimum. You want to be careful though. You don't want to get caught in a crash though. If you crash down 40%, man, this thing's going back down to 14 bucks. So you just watch out for that on Uni. Litecoin. Litecoin. So we drew this again. This triangle was here for a very long time, at least a month to a couple weeks. That's why I just leave the triangle here on the chart. This is how, you have less FOMO, less emotional problems. I planned ahead of this for like a month. So I knew if it ever comes down to the trend line support area as a swing trader, I'm kind of interested in that. It's like a flash discount. But now I'm looking at the top side. We just broke this 200, 204 level. We're just at 205 right now. So if this is going to turn into an upside down head and shoulders larger price pattern with the neckline, and there's a lot of these right now in the market. I'm not biased towards it. It just shows up everywhere right now. So the first target is 237. If we happen to go 2 times the target, big bull run, $267. That makes sense because it's hitting both of our resistances on our left side. So that makes complete sense. Now at this point, what I would do is I'm gonna set some alerts. I'll probably do alert at like 210. If we break 210 and we hold above that, I might be interested in breakout play at longer term. Breakout long entry potential. Right. Boom, right there. And but there is a potential risk if it comes down like a 191 or a 180. So here would be an intraday support, like a 191. A 180 would be a longer term swing trade support, but it's riding the triangle nicely, very nice. And there's like a baby trend line here. So I would watch out for that. Litecoin. Next, Bitcoin Cash. Okay, Cash kind of losing its power and momentum over the past couple months, but still tightening up in this pattern. So I'm not super hyped or not. I'm not super bullish on Bitcoin Cash because it kind of lost its momentum. There's been some other coins that have rallied much, much stronger, like a Cardano or Solana. But it's still at a relative interesting spot at the bottom of this trend line, just breaking out above um, the larger triangle up here, which I could probably pull down to tighten up. There we go. Always want to have accurate trend lines and support. Okay, so if somebody's trying to day trade this thing, it's $600. We just broke through that. All right, so the top side target of the wedge is 6%, stop loss of 3% to downside. It's that mentally easy, but like I was saying, like I'm staring at Bitcoin on a different chart, it's already pulling back on some of these shorter term time frames. So me right now, I'm not trying to long at this exact spot in time. I know this thing's going to come down once. All altcoins are probably going to pull down a little bit before the next rally. We already had a nice Asia bounce session. Right? But I'm just saying that's kind of the mental game you got to have is, all right, this thing's going up. We had to pull back. All right, it's tightening up. Maybe we might hit that upside target after pulling back once. Something like this, like a check mark. If we break bull. If we break bear, I mean, I'm looking at 526 downside, longer term. Just watch out for that. Link. Let me erase this on Link. So Link, we had our intraday long setup alerts. Okay. that we just wrote. So alerts work, right? I think I wrote it somewhere over here. Sometimes it hits, sometimes it doesn't, right? Nothing in technical analysis is 100%. If you look in the past, it's 100%, you know what I mean? But I try not to do that too much. We gotta look forward into the future forecast. So we're riding this trend line. So here's a kind of textbook example of trend line support. Is you start seeing this action right here, and it's like, okay, end of September into October. If somebody's really understands Link, the fundamentals, and is willing to put some capital risk on this trade, this person would have been up in the green. Kind of a risky trade, but that setup is kind of completing already. So now the only thing I'm watching is the resistance breakout above like 34 or something like that. 34 or like a 30. Because for me as a swing trader, this is not the greatest level of value because this upside down head and shoulder setup was here for a very long time. Did we go 30%? Almost. Okay, so the top target is 36.71. So there might be a little bit left to squeeze out on the long side. I should say that to rally on the long side here. Maybe another 13%. So if I were to swing trade this, it's like, okay, just remember, where are we? It's not the lowest low of time right now. That was 2 days ago. But a very short-term time frame is might see a pullback. So maybe $30, 30 to 31.81. I might be interested in a second long entry. So let me go ahead and write that, just right a little bit below where we are right now. Just typing really fast. And then this second support here at 30.39 could be a really interesting spot. So second intraday long entry potential. So you could see that, having a free account, if you have a pro account or a premium account, you get a lot of alerts. You know what I mean? I should actually make one just in case we happen to break super bull over the next 24 hours. One up here at above like a 34. Just in case we have the breakout. Always want to be prepared. Breakout long entry potential on Link. Right? So we're working as we go here. Algo. Okay, this is just, I don't really have to say any more about this chart. We drew this for so many weeks now. Is we're riding the trend line support on the on the bottom side, this trend line. So then the upside target would be 3%. But if we happen to break out of this triangle, the sim triangle, symmetrical, this is why I have my two blue circle targets here on the right side, is it's going to be a plus or minus 20%. That's why I have two alerts here. Breakdown of support or entry long in the symmetrical triangle. So for me, I need patience as a swing trader because we already had a nice run up on the September 7th rally into a huge pump up, fade down, finding support, riding the trend line up. And now we're just getting to the tip of this. So probably in the next couple of weeks, we're going to see the break, maybe a month. So I'm watching for it. That's how you prepare. I mean, if you really want to get into it, we could start doing intraday stuff. But I'm more of a swing trader. So algo, it definitely is in like a middle of the road scenarios. It could go either way. It just needs some momentum on the intraday, get a domino effect, and then the bots will start the rally. The trading bots. Okay, Shiba Inu next. Shiba Inu. All right. So the big thing is this related to Elon Musk and Doge. Once you have a huge pump up, okay, like I was saying on last week's stream, watch out for this consolidation and the breakdown. And we are seeing that, right? So if we start to break down even more, I'd be looking at like a 4765 support target Watch out for that. Because again, when something goes 1000% in crypto, most people start taking their profit. And again, there's that $8 billion whale person who is holding, right? So if that guy or girl, wherever it is, starts to sell, right? You might see some red on Shiba Inu. That's what I'm saying, right? You gotta watch out for that. So 50% fib retrace, daily long entry potential, even though this is very risky. So I'm not going all in on SHIB. Not now. We already had that set up. If you're brand new to the stream, I publicly called this in like the middle of September. I have it saved on my live stream. Just because people ask me about it all the time. I was telling the guy, whoever brought it to me, thank you for that. 950, right? We break 950, we're gonna rally at least 100%, and we went more than that. Then on this triangle, saying we have an entry opportunity possible at 25 cents here, and then this ended up breaking bull. All right, Bitcoin continuing at 65,000 rally. We just broke through that. And again, I am a swing trader, so I don't need to FOMO in and chase day trading setups like I've been in the market for so long. This is the kind of scenario where your emotional control is going to be tested to the maximum. Okay. So just because Bitcoin hit 65,000 doesn't mean throw all your money into the market with your eyes closed. That's how you get wrecked. That's how you get destroyed. That's how accounts get blown up. Right? So you want to watch out for that. Always try to buy a relative low if possible. I know scalpers and bots are losing their minds right now. They're going crazy right now. But, I'm watching that carefully. Watching it carefully. All right. But the thing is if you're a trader, you got to prepare for the next setup, right? 2 days ago, we were kind of forecasting this could possibly happen, right? Bull break up or bear break down, and we're getting a bull break up. So, that's why you kind of don't want to react. You don't want to be like a reactor type of person, right? In terms of like a reaction to the market. Because then you're chasing already. Because then you're waiting for news and information to come to you, and it's too late by that time already. Right? So, the trade at 60,000 or 61,000 support 2 days ago, 24 to 48 hours ago, that's how you increase the chance of winning, is buying low and then waiting for a high like today and start taking some profit on that trade today. So SHIB, again, I have so many alerts set up right here. I have my major big supports. So I'm looking at like 4,800, 3,300, 2,100, and 1,500. And don't be surprised, right? If this turns into a lower low downtrend pattern, this thing might have actually hit like 3,700. So, I'm not going to get excited about SHIB until I see something that actually happens on the charts. Until then, it's a 15-minute downtrend until then. There was a setup here, which I drew, not an alert, but after the particular stream, I remember this right here in reversed. All right, next one. I'll try to speed up a little bit. We're about like 45 minutes in. So MATIC, trendline support entry. There's a very baby trendline support entry that already pumped up like a 10-20%. So that's over. If you look longer at MATIC, you can see here it's kind of going sideways in the price. I remember good old MATIC from the old days. Is you see here there's this bigger breakout, kind of like SHIB, right? And then we rallied up very, very powerfully. But now this is just turning into a giant bear flag, in my opinion, longer term bear flag. Okay. Somebody might say, wait, but it's an ascending triangle. True. Both are true. So if the price doesn't come down, we have our support at $1.70, $1.21, dollar. If it never comes back down from there, maybe it'll hit $1.60 in a pullback right here. So now that we figure that out, you're gonna put an alert there instead. More like $1.68 intraday long entry on MATIC. Support number 1. And hopefully this will go, right? Maybe if we get a pullback, I might long that. But if it doesn't, I might have to long it, intraday. So it really depends. But the question is it low price right now? For swing traders, not really. Is that a support right now? Maybe one could say, wait, there's a support level here. Okay, maybe. But is it low, low? Not really. So it's just riding that up. As long as it stays in an uptrend, I mean, MATIC's going to be okay. Remember, MATIC's like $2, so you always go higher. All right, so Stellar XLM, the very short-term setup, I'm just going to do this one really fast, is we're in kind of this ascending triangle short-term just in the past like couple months on Stellar. And we did retest the 6-day support of 30 cents. And if we happen to break bull, and you can see I drew this picture here last time just saying, okay, if we're going to get upside down head and shoulders or whatever this pattern is, we get ascending triangle breakout, this thing might go 20 to 30% upside. Downside risk is also 20%. Okay, so you kind of have to, we have to be a little patient on altcoins. Just because Bitcoin's rallying right now, you notice that the entire market is not pumping. You have to realize that. You must realize that. Okay, not every coin is up 5% or whatever, 3, 4, 5%, just like Bitcoin. Okay, so be careful. Be careful. Yes, Bitcoin can be our lead, but that's why I'm starting to hunt for the other setups, because if we're going to get true altcoin season, altcoin Christmas, it's going to show up on the charts about now. Okay, that's why we have discipline. But the fact it's floating in the middle of the larger pattern is, to me, I'm like, it's not the greatest setup. The greatest setup was September 30 pivot point here. Some would be up like 30% on that. That's a better area of value. So if it ever comes down to 35 cents, 33 cents, 30 cents, I'm interested in that. But for now, it is what it is in the pattern as a longer term. It needs to make this higher high, though, to really, really get momentum back. Okay, Atom. So many lines. Atom with the nice uptrend. It's seeking its higher high right now in the price. You can see the upstairs pattern right now. Let's get some support and resistance. We have resistance of $45. Support at 31. Big targets, okay? So it's this kind of reminds me of MATIC, the chart. Kind of reminds me of MATIC. You can see here we had a nice, beautiful rally up into a straight up sideways bull flag of consolidation. So you could probably also draw a parallel channel as such and measure this thing. Now you have a relative target anywhere 12 to 25% in either direction. But the fact is we had a double top at 45. So for now, that is our big line in the sand. Whenever you have consolidation, kind of want to be careful. So for me, I'm not really gonna no action on this until I see a clear break in either direction. So I want to see a long breakout setup on the top here, right? Because you want to see this thing like actually move, not just one little stick poke up intraday 5 minute and then boom, right? Okay, we'll look at Tesla in the stock segment. But you just want to watch out for that, right? Because it double topped here in a consolidation. So if it does pull back down 12%, that's back down to like a 31%, right? So I'll put another $31, I should say. So I'll put another alert down here as our support entry. Support long possible entry. All right. That's my alarm. Okay. Next one. I'm not going to do every single coin because once you start getting really low on the USA list, the liquidity is very like small, low. So I'm not going to do every single coin. Although one stream I usually do it all. I did that last month though. Okay, so we'll look at Filecoin. So Filecoin, here's an interesting example of this particular trade would have got stopped out because I was telling somebody anywhere in the $69 range, okay, if it breaks down, it's going to break down. But we did draw the second support down here at 55. So this first trade would have stopped out, but if somebody bought the second trade with the same amount of capital, they're either made their money back or they're ready to make potential more upside on this, right? Because you hit a deep support level. This is why I'm saying we always try to buy support. And not every trade works. Okay, but the fact is this thing is still kind of in a double downtrend, but if this turns into a double bottom, we could see 30% upside. We could see 30% upside up to here, up to 80 if we're in a bull run. Okay, right now is not the greatest risk to reward, but if we're going to get the continuation up, it looks like it wants to happen. But this coin is pretty volatile. It's not the most popular coin. It's still downtrending though, so I'm not really happy about that, like excited about that. The swing trader, I want to see a little bit more evidence. Okay, we just had this low to high swing trade, but you know, Filecoin looking a little weak at this point. I don't think bulls are really going to come back in until we see like this. Then I think bulls will come in. We need to see the price break above EMAs, hold up, intraday uptrend again. Then bulls might buy out the breakout here. So that's why maybe I'll put an alert at like a 67 for myself, educational wise. Breakout, uptrend, reversal, potential long. Okay, and just because we have a big support down here, I want to put another alert down here. Filecoin support number one long entry potential right there on that bottom side. Okay, and I know not a lot of people are watching the stream because everyone's chasing the Bitcoin and the pump right now, or they're trading that, I should say. But I'm looking, and we'll come back to Bitcoin at the end of the stream. But I'm looking at the intraday chart on my monitor, is that there is significant chance for a pullback in the next couple days, right? The only thing that will reverse that is if big money comes into the market. We're talking Wall Street, we're talking futures, CME. If they come in tomorrow at 6 o'clock, 6:30 in the morning and buy like millions and billions of Bitcoin, then it's like, okay, we're going up. You know what I mean? Like the support is not, we're not going down. But if it's just retail, then at a certain point, the normal trading is like it should just fall back down to support. VeChain, we haven't done VeChain in a while. So VeChain, we did call this right here. I even have a big fat arrow here on the early October stream. And if somebody initiated this long off the trade setup, educational trade setup, they're up 30%. It hit our targets like perfectly. I'm so surprised sometimes how well TA works if you do it right. Okay, so I was saying there's a potential entry down here at the 12 cents, and the target was these double blue lines, and so it hit that target wonderfully. Okay, so I'm going to erase that. We learn from that, move on. Somebody traded that, congratulations, made 30% of the market. And we did have a additional triangle breakout setup. So I was telling so many people on the stream, breakout, retest, rally up to resistance. But the fact is now it's a little bit looking like uptrend continuation in the price. But what I mean is medium term, it was going up, but short term, it's pulling back down because people are taking their profit. So kind of interesting. VeChain hitting this 5-minute, 15-minute short-term oversold. So VeChain looking like it might find a support in the next day or two, somewhere down here, maybe in the next day. So if someone's intraday, you want to watch out for this, right? Because it could pull back down all the way down to 15 cents. But if someone's trying to day trade this, you see the obvious levels of support on the EMAs, like a 15 cent, or excuse me, 15,273 or 14,68. If it hits the bottom of this trend line and then bounces again, it's like a 3 to 6% rally. This is not really my style anymore, but I know for some people it is. So if we baby Fibonacci this, yeah, maybe like a 14.34, somewhere in this range. All right, the bots, it needs to get pretty oversold for it to really, really bounce. So if someone's going to try to trade VeChain, you try to wait for the lowest spot possible. We just hit this 1 minute, 5 minutes, so it might bounce intraday like at 1.6%. But for me, I'm a little bit longer term, so I'm going to target down here, 14.68. If I miss it, it's okay. Intraday, long entry, 1 hour, 10 EMA. Just so I know what I'm talking about here for myself. Because we have to understand, if we lose 15.21, there's not much holding us from falling down to 14.78. The only thing is there are bots programmed to buy stuff when it's low. So, but again, right, if you zoom out, it's like, wait a second, this thing is way up here. We could obviously pull back down to 14.63. Just have to have patience for that. Okay, we'll do a few more here, and then we'll just move on. I don't see a lot of crypto requests, so everyone's probably busy trading right now. So ETC, Ethereum Classic, not the most popular coin anymore after the huge rally up of this year. Pretty strong consolidation. It looks and feels like a Dogecoin kind of situation. So consolidating. Yes, so please, if you have any requests, please tell me way earlier. Like right when you log into the stream, just type it. Like I would very much appreciate that. We'll do XRP because for me, XRP is the last one on my list because I'm in USA. We can't trade XRP anymore here, so that's why you don't see me do XRP. Just FYI. Okay, so daily. Yeah, please type a request. Thank you. All right, especially if you're a long-time follower, it's just how we do it here. Okay, so you can see here Ethereum Classic, going sideways. Right, this upside down head and shoulders broke bear. This is market makers trying to pressure people out. So you have to understand how the market works, right? The market is the battle between the bulls, the green, and the bears, the red. It's real people and algorithm robots trading. So you have to try to pre-plan ahead to beat the robots and the algorithms. You got to beat the system. How are you going to beat the system? Is you use technical analysis longer term to get your bigger constraints, like your bigger support levels and your bigger resistance levels as such, right? These are all forecastable. This particular flash stop crash, like stop loss pump to the downside, market makers knew everyone has their stop loss down here, right? So they're trying to basically, if you ever play poker, like Texas Hold'em, what it is the chip leader, who are market makers and institutions who have all the money, right? All they have to do is short something down. It kicks all the retail out of their position. They're trying to force your hand away. They're trying to force you to fold. They're trying to take your money. You know what I mean? So if you buy it like not a great spot, like here, which we're just consolidating, floating in the middle, they know all they got to do is if you get a bear break, boom, you short that down. Institutions, you take all the people's stop loss money right here. Unfortunately, it's sad, but that's the truth, reality. It happens all the time in stocks, especially in crypto. Market makers know exactly where everyone has their positions. You sign that contract when you sign up for the crypto exchange. It's in the fine print. They know the order flow. So how do we get past that? Okay, so assuming somebody survived this and didn't get liquidated internationally, right, is you get ready for the next setup. Okay, if we're going to have a bull break setup, it's plus or minus 25% from the breakout. 6876 is our upside target. 25% is our downside target long term. So, how are you going to play this? That's the big question. ETC is not the greatest hype coin anymore because it used to be like $5. way back at the start of the rally. Right here is like $5. It went to like 173. It's absolutely insane. All cryptos went up a lot like that. So now the question is well, are we going to pop up just one more time or not? That's all I'm really thinking about. Okay, we got to look forward, think ahead, pre-plan it, commit to it, execute, take action, less emotions. So if I was happy to be awake at this time, which I wasn't, I don't think I was, I would probably have scalped this up. I would probably would have picked this up because I know this type of flash crash is like totally not normal. This happened at 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock. So this is a European. This is a European short right here. Long squeeze. Right, the breakdown, the loss of the support right there. Boom. Huge, huge pain. Okay. Let me see. Is there anything super important on the list I need to go down? Let me just visually look and we'll get to requests. If something jumps out at me, then I'll stop and talk at it. HBAR near resistance. Oh, ETC. Okay. And back up ETC. The thing is, well, first off, ETC is not super popular anymore. It's literally 1000% up. So just keep that in your mind, uh, in the back of your mind. But the two very tight areas of value. This is why you need to use TA. Is you see the top side resistance right there at 56.44, right? So you could see this has volatility here. So let's just pretend somebody, if I long down market price right now, which I never really recommend to do, is unless it's emergency, is you need at least day traders need at least like a 3%, swing traders a 10%, investor 25%. So it's like a 5, 10, 20%. And obviously you're not going to put all your money in that because if you're wrong, you just lose all your capital in one trade, and you should never do that. All right, so I'm talking about like a 10% or 5%, or if you're a beginner, only 1 or 2% risk, dollar risk of the entire capital. If you're a real beginner, just paper trade, don't even use real money, paper trade down here. Sign up for free trading view, paper trade, right? I love paper trading. It's fun. It's like you could go on a trading shopping spree on paper trading and then like try to do real technical analysis, but you could do like 50 trades in a row. It's like it's amazing. Um, but it still takes work. Are we at a low in ETC price? I think that's probably more of your question that you're asking. Not really. We just hit that at 12 hours ago. I was sleeping at that time, so I missed this trade. That's all right. That's okay. Right? I just wait for the next trade. We're fine. Again, let me finish up here and do I'll do XRP, and then I think we're gonna move on to stocks in the next hour. Stocks. So H bar at a resistance zone. EGLD broke out of resistance. Back testing. Support. EOS consolidating to the side. Not very strong. AAVE. Trying to tighten up in this triangle here, like this. Trying to tighten up in the triangle as such. All right, so AAV. IOTA. IOTA's stuck in the middle right here. Right here. See this? Like, I'm not interested in IOTA yet. Same thing. If it's going to break out, maybe I'm interested. So if somebody wants to long it here, like, I guess you could, but you could see it's in the pattern. There's other better patterns on the charts. GRT. Oh, here's a perfect example of, even if this is like a smaller baby coin, I like to call it low liquidity. I mean, we just drew this a month ago, and I was saying if somebody like wants to try to buy this, okay, right, 71 cents. Okay, and what's the top target? Right there at the top, 50, 60%. More of an investment, but did the trade play out for the bulls long? Yes, indeed. So this is why you might not want to always go all in on every coin. Is put some money in some of these ones, where it's like, oh, this is like a, hey, this is a trend line here. We get a resistance breakout. I mean, there's 30% upside on here with a 10% stop loss. But the fact that it's at the top of this resistance is I'm kind of not interested in it anymore unless it breaks out seriously for real on the top side. Okay, Neo used to be, one second. Neo used to be everyone's favorite coin, but on a weekly, I mean, I'm kind of concerned. Is like, is this a cup and handle weekly? I mean, if it is, could be huge for Neo. But the fact is, after the China crypto transaction and trading ban this year, the Asia session has gotten a lot quieter. Okay, it's gotten a lot quieter. We used to have some serious volatility at like 4, 5, 6 p.m. But there was a recent crackdown. I don't know if you guys know, but China banned crypto transactions and mining this year, starting from like May and June, July. And then also South Korea had a crypto exchange crackdown where many crypto exchanges closed down for legal reasons, right? So South Korea and China used to be like huge on crypto trading. I don't know if you guys know that. It's not just America and Europe. It's not just the West. A lot of Eastern countries and Asia were really trading crypto a lot. But once we lose that liquidity, I mean, that's why a lot of the Asia coins just got a lot quieter. Nobody trades it that much anymore. Also, they rallied up very nicely. But if this happens to go, okay, I don't usually like to make super big, huge calls like this, but okay, if it happens, 10x is not impossible. But Neo going to $500, I mean, it's maybe, but that would take some real global buyers. You know what I mean? So I'm not. That's why I don't like to do those kinds of big calls. But all I'll say is on a daily, it's tightening up on a symmetrical triangle to the side. That's all I'll say for now. So a very, very similar setup. Very, very similar. But you can see here we do have 40, 150 to 300 potential if the global rally uh, gets really hyped up. Let me just finish here. I really want to just get people on focused in here. I'm dialed in on crypto right now. So we had a double top on waves, and I drew that last time. Watch out for the double top on waves. We could see a additional 20% downside on waves if it gets really bad. Just want to watch out for that. Although it looks on 15-minute, 1 hour, we did already get the bounce. So it looks like the bounce attempt is already underway. To me, though, this is just consolidation sideways stuff. You know what I mean? I'm not hyped about that at all. Right? It went from, you have to understand, it went from this consolidation box to this consolidation box, and it's like, okay, whenever you get consolidation sideways, the market, people don't either care or the market doesn't know what to do. There's confusion. So Maker, we had a nice support bounce, hit that target on the top side. Now it's just going to see, is this going to hold and bounce further to hit the next resistance, 29% up, or is it going to pull down 25%? I would just watch that price. Although there is some momentum building on the 4 hour, but the 1 hour is getting a little bit overbought, a little bit relatively high. But this is like an interesting setup, so I should actually put a alert up here. Maker's really expensive, but people still like to trade this thing. And HNT breakout. Okay, so HNT. So here's another thing. I drew this particular wedge setup on, I don't know when I did it, but like middle of October because it's here. And I drew both targets, right? Maybe I should have made it a little more clear for people is we have a resistance breakout. And this is the target. And we went well above that target. TA works. Should have went 80%. Did we go 80%? Yep. Yes. And fading down because intraday traders are all taking their profits. The traders are kind of done with this one. The next major support I would look for, let's see, what do we got going on here? Next major support level, that's a tongue twister. Next major support levels on this guy HNT, probably looking at like a $40 or $35, somewhere in this blue range. Okay, this one's a little too low liquidity for me, so I don't really trade HNT. But if I was just gonna put a few $100 or something into this thing, or $1,000, like, sure, why not? Because this chart, this was the setup back here. If we bought the breakout, it's 10%, and then it was 30% upside potential, and we actually went like 60, 80. We had 100%. That's absolutely wonderful. All right, so just kind of watch out for that. The big support is like 33 right there. I'll watch for that level. OMG, again, we had this very nice bull flag continuation resistance breakout. So this right here, the X marks the spot 1463, which I was saying was our support level. I think last week we hit that. I believe there's an intraday setup here as well. Yes, right here. So we're bouncing here, and then I remember kind of saying something like, just watch for the uptrend here and potential breakout, and it happened on OMG. But you might be wondering, well, what's next for OMG? So this particular continuation wedge is over. Now you can see we hit that top side. The first trend line support, we're hitting it right now, like on an oversold day trade, like a 5-minute. We just hit that, bounced up from that. It looks like the 1 hour, 4 hour, looks like it's trying to do something, swing trade intraday, like right here. But this thing needs to fade down. I need to see this thing fade down to like a 15 or 14 or a 13 before you see this bounce. Because if this turns to a lower low right here, I'm looking at like $14. Let me just write that. And you might be wondering, like, why am I doing crypto? Is because Bitcoin rally, if it's going to happen, you need to pay attention to all these other altcoins, because most people trade a lot of altcoins. You know what I mean? If someone has a huge account, like millions of dollars, like they would just stick to Bitcoin, like Wall Street. All right, so AMP, consolidating to the side here. We're almost done with crypto. Um, and we hit that top. You see that? If you do technical analysis, like all of a sudden everything makes perfect sense. So I would expect a pull back down to like 5 cents. Just watch out for that on AMP. One Harmony. Let's see if this trade idea worked or not. Ooh, this one would have got stopped out. But our support levels, the deeper support level was correct. This first target of 28 cents. Okay, so the first trade sometimes doesn't always work. If you had a second trade here, this would have been successful. Nice 10% bounce. Excuse me. But again, I remember saying like 2 weeks ago on Harmony, watch out for this ascending channel, because sometimes you lose the support. When the trade is too obvious, I remember saying that, is watch out for that kind of thing. Because in crypto, you just never want to be the last guy. You just never want to be like the last buyer, because that means you bought a relative top, and you're probably going to feel pain in the account. So in the consolidation on H1, there's all this support here for 1 week straight. For somebody to try to get into the into a long here, and then finally we hit 27 2 days ago. So is it going to be another breakout attempt? Maybe. Maybe. We just saw on the other altcoins, right? So if this thing goes up, okay, 20% upside. If it goes up, 10% stop loss. That's not a bad trade for a small account position size. But if it happens to fall back down to like a 28 or a 26, I would long that, just because it's a support level. So let me actually put an alert there. 26. 1. Intraday trend line support. Entry level. Right there. And we move on. All right, I got to speed up a lot. Okay. So Dash going sideways. Comp also going sideways. I'll just keep drawing these for people's reference, okay? In the symmetrical triangle though, Zcash did break out, stuck between two support levels, 142 and 188. Mana, very, very beautiful rally. And I remember drawing this triangle on Mana saying, hey, there might be something here. And it was kind of a pump and dump, but the setup was there. It was there, right? If somebody had a breakout alert at 90 cents or $1, then they were able to capture some of that, hopefully. Okay, but Mana, I'm not longing this thing. I'm waiting for some deeper pullback down to like 167 or 121, if it ever gets down that low. ICX trying to survive in this rally in the uptrend right now. It is at trendline support, but again, relatively low price. So it's really obvious trade though, so I'd be a little careful of that. So I'm just gonna try to do this one. It's a 10% stop loss on downside, 20% upside. Wanna watch out for that. ENJ, there's a lot of hype about ENJ. I saw online yesterday. So remember, if we just played our support long entry, which we just barely missed by like 10 cents, but the second breakout level was there. Okay, and this, even if you don't put alerts, if you understand TA, technical analysis, is this triangle, this particular triangle was here, and then we had an upside down head and shoulders breakout. So there's three things telling me right here at exit spot 192, something's gonna happen there. That's why you have to have some alerts. But we're bull flagging right now, consolidating to the side. I'm not that excited on ENJ right now. When you get some momentum loss after a large rally, not really. I need to see it come down a little more, at least to the back downside of this new channel here, because you see with significant resistance, I'm looking at like a 295 or $3. That would be more interesting. I gotta just split the difference and put one alert there. ENJ, intraday trend line support. Okay, I'm just gonna do visuals now. Sushi, kind of towards the top side of this triangle, so I'm not really excited about that. It's not a low for me. As long as it holds, should be fine. Support. QTUM, somebody asked for QTUM, right? Yeah. So QTUM. QTUM on the long term could be considered a cup and handle, like maybe, right? But this could take like 10 years to play out. That's why I don't like to call these type of things. But yeah, that's the super long term target. But the short term kind of daily medium target is, it wasn't an ascending triangle type of pattern with the upside down head and shoulders. So once we broke through the resistance, we're getting stuck here. That's why the market's hesitating. If we don't get continuous follow through to break above 18 like this, to push up to 30, 35, 20, just 20, 30, 35, it might come back down to like a 13, 14. It's really up to Bitcoin too. If Bitcoin nonstop rallies for like a month straight, then I'm expecting all altcoins to go up. If Bitcoin stops at some point in the next week, you might actually see some downside on some of these altcoins. I would not be surprised, because the triangle is saying plus or minus 10%. If we break down out of the triangle, that's significant. It brings us down to 1431. Also, if we Fibonacci that, 1431 is our 618 level. Exactly. From this recent leg up. So if I'm trying to go for value, I'm looking at 1431 right now. QTUM, USD, USDT, intraday long, 618 fib, long entry. I should say though that sometimes it's not perfect. We might hit like a $15 even. That could be another spot. But the target's supposed to go down to 1431. Longer term though, you could see QTUM's like at the top. You know what I'm saying? It's not at the bottom. It was at the bottom on October 28th. 8 or September 30. So I would just watch for two levels. Maybe I'll put another one here at 1964. This could be my long-term breakout long entry. Right? You gotta get ahead of these things. Can't just keep reacting once you turn on your phone or computer. You gotta get way ahead. We're doing some serious TA here. I hope you guys realize that. All right, so Zilliqa going sideways and just broke out and retesting this 10-cent range. If it's supposed to go 25%, that's why I have all these gray lines here. It's supposed to go to like a 13 cents. If it fails, it can come down to about 8 cents. So I'll watch for that intraday price to see if we break out or up and sustain it. CRV, beautiful. Ascending triangle pattern possible, right? I remember telling people to maybe go long here at the upper $2 range, 100%. But just like a GRT. But these are very small liquidity coins. That's why I'm not going all in on this guy. So it did get a back test. That's good. If we hold, we need to hold $4. That's our line in the sand on this. If we lose $4, I mean, we could break down to like 365, $3, 240. That I might re-long at a 240. So let me get this alert up here. I need to write this down for myself because this is kind of my bigger play because this is such a like obvious ascending triangle on the pattern on the charts that I think something might happen here on CRV. Like Shiba Inu is very obvious too. I just hold on. 3 and 263. So this is part of the job. Like this is part of the work people do on crypto. Is you gotta. This is technical analysis plus risk management, or actually I should say like stop loss management. 50% fib level entry, and right here 267 CRV 618 fib entry long daily. Okay, and for stop loss entry, what I'm saying, management, is this. If I happen to go long here at the 50%, then the stop loss would be 10% to the downside, 20% up as a swing trader. Small to medium sized position. And if I fail on that one, no problem. Let me just wait for the lowest low I can, and then I'm going to re-enter it. BAT, we had our breakout and consolidation down. Just watch out for, let me remove this. Just watch out for the retest back down a little lower of like 85 cents if possible. Because BAT kind of is kind of bot controlled right now. Not a lot of traders trade this thing as much anymore. Same thing with Manum. So just watch out for that. It looks like the R side, the momentum is just stuck in the middle, so I'm not seeing anything yet on swing trading. Ravencoin, we are getting a little breakout. So I'm watching Ravencoin closely because sometimes when this thing likes to pump, this thing pumps because it's like 13 cents. So if we get to 25%, we hit that target, pull back down. Now I'm looking to hold support above 12 cents. But you can see the blue dots I wrote here. I said this could be our upside target if this upside down head and shoulders plays out, and that was true. There's all this gray line support in the middle, and then our ultimate resistance target up here like 16 cents. So I'm watching Raven very closely. Almost oversold. So this could be like a consolidation setup like this. You see that? So it just pumped down and hit that, rallied up. I might put an alert up here at like a 13.6. Long intraday setup. Like that. And then you have your support down here at like a 13. So you can get yourself set up for this. Long intraday entry. Okay, next, Zencash. So you can see all these altcoins, they look almost the same. right? So once you kind of get a lockdown on like Bitcoin and some of these altcoins, you can kind of forecast what's probably going to happen here. Um, don't be surprised if you see downside, right? That's why you just kind of don't want to buy when things are in the floating in the middle. ZRX, I'll just draw the lines. ZRX try to break out. Okay, yeah, ZRX trying to do something here. A lot of coins did that, but now I'm looking for the pullback to support. Support is $1.15, support is $1.10. You're just boxed in that range like that on ZRX. Next, ONT. Again, the Asia coins just kind of lost their momentum during the China ban. All right, so ONT, if it is going to go, it could have a nice 100% rally. It's possible on a weekly, but that might take like months to play out. Because for this to happen, it took 175 days. So that's like 5 to 6 months. Okay, so it could be 30% downside, but it could also be like 90% upside or 60% upside if it happens to go. The fact that we made a higher low on the weekly is nice. We're holding above 75 cents. Great. But now we have to break through 120 and 130 and try to get up to some of these higher highs of like $2. That's all I'll say about that. Besides this trend line up here. Anchor. Anchor with the beautiful pattern. Just trying to break out. See, a lot of these coins just trying to break out. So the story for the week coming up in like the next 2 weeks is if any of your altcoins that you're looking at looks like this chart and it broke out of the triangle, we're going to have to stare at this right here, the support below it, 10 cents, 11 cents for like any coin. Just visually, it's like, is that going to hold? Because if that holds, you might see continuation in the next month or two if Bitcoin continues. If it does not hold, meaning the price breaks down, right? I might be looking to long somewhere down here again, right? So I'm looking at these two spots on a lot of these charts. Nano, I don't really trade Nano anymore, but Nano looking like it's also in the same triangle. Storage, low liquidity. But a lot of bots pump this up. So again, it's that breakout setup. See, same deal. Okay, VeChain Thor. VeChain Thor is a small coin, but it has liquidity. If you ever looked at the order book on VeChain Thor, I mean, there's some huge, it's purely bot controlled, but there's a lot of liquidity in that. It's like, if you check the order book, you know what I mean. Okay, so, but VeChain Thor is very correlated with Bitcoin and VeChain. So, um, for me, the only thing that I'm really concerned about is Bitcoin going to rally? Because if it is, I would like to see this happen. I would like to see that happen on VeChain Thor, or just something like that with the price action. But VeChain Thor can get pretty volatile. It's already 10% to downside. It's only a one-to-one trade, so it's not really the best spot right now. I need to see a little bit more direction um, before I try to enter that long. We did have that day trade support bounce, but VeChain Thor is very, very volatile. And see, we had this nice upside down head and shoulders. The story of the market right now. And you might be wondering, like, well, if it's the same, why do I look at all of them? Is because sometimes there's one that rallies first before all of them, like Mana. If you're able to catch Mana or able to catch CRV before it rallies up, I mean, you made money, right? So sometimes people just pile into the same like 5 coins. Band. Band, I'm a little concerned about Band because is this a reversal head and shoulders signal? Maybe. At a bad case scenario, that could be catastrophic. That could be absolutely catastrophic. But for me, what I've seen happen is sometimes it just looks bad, but it doesn't actually do that. This makes more sense to me, right? So it would have been bad, but saved by the Bitcoin bulls in the news and attempting a higher high. So if you do contrarian type of thinking, is if this thing breaks out above $10.88, it should rally 50% more to 16. So band might be an interesting trade, although it is risky, but interesting. It's see this chart is a little different than the rest of the charts. It's just be careful of potential like negative 50% downside. So you can't all in this one for safety reasons, but trying to do like a small trade on this one, a little small swing trade, and maybe target my 40% on the upside because it looks like it's trying to rally with Bitcoin. It's dependent on Bitcoin. The last couple ones here, Augur, Augur kind of in a downtrend, but in consolidation. Okay, so the only thing I would look at on Augur is you have to break out above 29, or else you're gonna go down to like 20. All right, finally, last two, OXT. Very very small coin on Coinbase, so I don't trade this one, but it had a nice rally after the Bitcoin recovery here in the end of May. So we could draw this channel. Looks just like Bitcoin. So OXT very very highly correlated with Bitcoin, and the fact that it's at the top of this resistance here is I'm not really interested in that. I'm interested in low because you buy low and sell high generally, right? So I don't want to buy high. I might lose money. So you want to watch out for that. The only thing is this might have been a weekly double bottom, maybe, on candle body wicks. So the upside target would be up here like 85 cents, which is a lot of gains if it happens. But I think for this coin to do that, 55% up, the whole market has to go up. It's not just going to be OXT by itself. Okay, last one, XRP. Actually, we'll do Bitcoin after this. It's been like a 1.5 hours. XRP, Ripple. Let's get some more data on here. Maybe I'll use like I think Bitfinex or Bitstamp. Yeah, see, that's why you want to use the right chart. You want all this precious price data for your technical analysis. You don't just want the chart to look like that on your exchange. That won't help you that much. Okay, but Ripple's still alive internationally. Okay, I'm not discounting it. I was actually I liked Ripple as a project. Just unfortunate what happened in the US with the SEC and the exchange ban. So right here, you can see Ripple, very nice. Possible upside down head and shoulder, maybe. It's got to break out significantly. The fact that Ripple's already $1, holding $1 is wonderful. Ripple used to be like 15 cents. So absolutely wonderful rally on Ripple. I would actually switch to a weekly. So it looks like it's trying to find and hold its weekly higher high. So you could see the highest high in the December 17 Bitcoin rally was like almost a $3 Ripple. So if that's going to happen again, there could be like 50 to 100% upside on Ripple. But what's your downside risk at this moment in time as an investor? 25%, right? That is an investing setup. There's always, so with stocks is there's always like a 25% risk on anything, like a medium-sized asset, because at any time you could have a market crash. But crypto is based on the technicals, so you can get a market crash at like any time. That's why it's riskier. But XRP has been rallying for so long. I would just put two alerts. If I were a trader trying to trade this thing, put two alerts. 30% is my upside target, $1.50. If we lose that, 30% down, right down to trend line, 70 cents. But there's also a medium term support at $1 right here. So I would just probably put three alerts like this on XRP. So just in case it breaks, bull goes up, now you know. If it breaks down, where you're getting a better price. If it breaks way down, you're getting a way better price on XRP. Can you imagine 60 cent XRP? Gotta love it. That's why I gotta have some patience with crypto. Let's flip back to Bitcoin before we move on to stocks, and we have some question here. Okay, and again, the only reason I did the entire USA stock market list, technical analysis, educational setups for all of these is because just in case we have a massive rally this week, I just gave 50 setups to you, everybody, okay? Swing trade setups, educational. It might have been 60, at least 50. So with Bitcoin, we have the rally up here, okay? The rally up here. Actually, it might have just been like 20 setups, but you know what I mean. We looked at 50 coins, is what I'm saying. So 66,000 up here is our line in the sand. We just hit 65,000. Very beautiful. But you have to look at, that's wonderful, great. But at the same time, though, is when we get too high in the price, somebody's going to sell. There is momentum on the daily, okay? So I'm not saying we're not going to go up. I'm saying in the next like hour, 4 hours, 8 hours overnight is I'm expecting volatility on Bitcoin. The daily's looking nice. The daily's looking nice. We didn't get a strong pullback. I would have liked it not better if we pulled back down to 54 because you have a big reset and then everybody could buy in again and pump it up like 50%. Not pump, but rally. But we're holding the 60,000 so strongly. That's your big line in the sand now for Bitcoin. So somebody asked me, do you think BTC will now continue the rally? To answer that question, is we have to break and hold above 66,000 and not come down. We have to break and hold above 70,000 and not come down. If that setup occurs, like this, then we're in okay shape. Right? Then it's 75, 80, 85, 90, 100,000 on Bitcoin. But if it fails and we just get a double top, I'm expecting we could pull back down to Bitcoin to like 53,000. You can see it on the charts. It's here. But the weekly lower high theory is over because if this was going to do that for a certain point in time, like in September, some trade, I was thinking that it might do this. But the fact that we had the SEC right here say that Bitcoin's legal, they're going to keep it legal, that changed everything. And now we might see all-time high in Bitcoin, even just in this week. So watch out for that. All right. So I hope that makes sense for you is we have to break and hold above the ceiling, the resistance right here, which is now 66, 67,000 Bitcoin. You got to hold that break above that, and then all the altcoins will likely follow up a little bit. But again, you're not going to go straight up to 100,000 like that. It doesn't work like that, right? The market doesn't work like that. You have day traders, you have robots that will do this. You'll get some selling at some point. It'll just be too much. Right? So if we're going to get one more rally, you get one more pullback as well. Maybe not that deep. So those are the two scenarios I'm playing. All you have to really care about is 67,000 Bitcoin and 60,000 Bitcoin because that's the square. That's the consolidation range we're in right now. Plus or minus 7% in the next week or two. Or this month, I should say, on Bitcoin. But if not, I'm looking down for value entries at like 50,000, 57,000, 46, 40. 40 was our big last one. Okay. Hopefully that makes sense to you who asked for that question. Do I trade Elon USDT at all? No, I don't because I'm USA exchanges only on certain exchanges only. So my watch list of crypto basically is the only thing I trade in because that's the only thing on my exchange. Taylor, you're gonna have to ask that to your broker or TradingView. That's not. I don't work for TradingView, so the TradingView help desk might help you for that if you had some execution issue, order issue, or your broker. Someone over here says, if Elon sells 10% of his shares, how much pullback can we see in Tesla? Okay. So let's move over to stocks. I'll do one stock, and then we got to do some indexes. Let's see here. Tesla. Okay. The big thing with Tesla is Tesla likes to rally. Tesla's like people's favorite stock. It's people's favorite stock. If you like cars, if you like technology, if you like Elon Musk, if you like space, um, that kind of thing, right? But the fact is the price cannot go up forever. So even if, let me just double check before I say something. It's 10%. He said 10% of the shares, right? So let me just check his Twitter. I don't want to give out misinformation yet. 10% stake. So $21 billion. Let's see. So it's a $1 trillion market cap. 10%, obviously. So billions of dollars. Okay. So for his stake is that billions of dollars. So for me, I would just look at these strong levels, okay, instead of trying to like calculate it to the exact cent. Is if we're gonna see downside on Tesla, let's say in the next week or two, um, I would be looking at levels that make sense on the charts. So it would be the first level is 1171, okay, or 1147, 1075, $1,000, then gap fill 949, 912. We might not see just straight red like that because he he's smart. He's probably using, professional money managers to do it. He's not he might do it. If he's going to do it, he's going to do it in a private sale. He's not going to just go onto the public stock market and just flood the market with a bunch of sell options in 1 minute. That could actually be illegal for him to do that. It's possible. So he's probably going to do it in a very smart, professional way, almost like a bank brokerage deal, like Warren Buffett style, right? It's not going to show up on like your broker, what he does, uh, contract wise, but the price will move though. So if he's smart, if he's going to work like a professional institution, he'll sell it over time, not in 1 day. It might be illegal to do 1 day, so he might do it over like a year period of time or something like that. Because institutions, if you study Wyckoff method, okay, if you study Wyckoff method, let me try to get you a good idea here. Wyckoff method is you have accumulation, markup, distribution. Accumulation, markup, then what do you think might happen? Distribution. Right? If he's gonna sell, it's gonna probably turn this into a distribution type of environment on Tesla. Not saying we're gonna stay in the thousands forever, but that kind of general idea of at least consolidation or downward sloping over a longer period of time could happen on Tesla. Um, but his Twitter poll to me, it just sounds like he's just thinking about it. It's not like 100% confirmed, right? So I'm not going to really move on that yet. I want to see how the market's going to react to that this week, like tomorrow, 6:30 in the morning. And just see. I'm sure people are going to buy shorts and put options on that just to sell the news in the pre-market. It would make sense because it's been overbought for a while. I wish I could short this, but there weren't shares available on my broker because everybody's trying to short this thing. So, um, yeah, you could just see here, just clear levels 1088, 1900. If it's really bad, 800 again. So, just kind of want to just be mindful of that. But again, if like Wall Street Bets is trying to fight against the curve, fight against everybody, you're going to see some battle price volatility on the charts. Okay. So, um, hope that makes sense for everybody. I'm going to try to wrap it up here with some stocks. All right. So we have stock market earnings. I think we're in the fourth week, if I'm not mistaken, but I have my list. It's in the free weekly watch list. Yes. So Elon's smart. He's just getting like ideas. You know what I mean? Is like, hey, what about taxes? What about like um, his own stake in the company? Like maybe in the way back of his mind, he might be thinking about retirement in the future. You know what I'm saying? It's like how is he's starting to basically think about a potential exit plan for himself and the company. Is he gonna do pull a Jeff Bezos, right, and just step down? Like you know, like we don't really know what's going on in his mind, but if it does happen, let's say in a worst case scenario, he steps down as CEO and ends up selling a lot of his percent stake and just like retires or moves to a different company, his other space company, and um, um, excuse me, not space company, but his other companies, and if he makes another company, right? Maybe he's gonna retire or just like disappear. You know what I mean? Like so many things can happen. Um, but the fact is if an institution of his size starts selling shares, we're going to see it on the charts. You might see a pullback like this, right? You might see it. Sorry, I was correct. SpaceX. For some reason, I got mixed up for a second. You never know. Is he going to pull a Jeff Bezos and just focus on SpaceX forever for like 10 years? We don't really know, right? Is he going to try to start his own crypto? We don't really know. Nobody knows. But at the same time, is you get a 25% pullback in gap fill down here. You could get negative 10, negative 20, negative 25%. Okay, so for me, regardless of what Twitter poll says or what people say on the news or chat rooms, is all I need to focus on is this chart on the price. It'll be my guide. If Tesla ever gets an extreme deep pullback, I mean, there's some value there if you understand the products and services of that company. Okay, let's go to DJI. DJI Dow Jones. Eventually, sometime during this month, I'll try to do it this week. Is just get the basic November charts up. I've been really busy with this the watch list today, so I couldn't do that today. But here it is, the live chart. Okay, Dow Jones on the daily. So once we had this big pullback into the market, I mean, upside down, head and shoulders bounce up. We might see like a 36,831 target. Okay, Dow Jones losing a little bit of momentum, but I feel like traders will. It looks like traders are going to try to pump it, bounce it up one more time. The only thing I'm worried about is a lot of these indexes. You could see a 5 wave Elliott wave pattern um, already playing out, and it's a textbook. So somewhere here we could top out. The upper trend line is the resistance point up here. If we start pulling back, let's say we just fold over in the next 3 days, then immediate support. I wrote it in my Discord. The support levels dollar value for the ETF. But we're not extremely oversold like a Bitcoin right now. I mean, overbought like a Bitcoin. Like we're not high on a Bitcoin right now, like a DJI. Uh, but you could see some. I can look at some, forecasting of some resistance up here on the top. SPX is already at the upside resistance. That's why I'm trying to tell people. I'm trying to alert people to this. Excuse me. Let me get some water. I'm trying to alert people to this because just in case this is a resistance, and there is a 5 wave Elliott wave daily pattern here, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so if we're gonna do ABC correction, we could go ABC like that, or ABC real deep. It could ABC like that, deep, or just ABC back down to this red consolidation, 45, 45, intermediate pullback. So I'll watch out for that. Futures right now, let's check futures really fast. Give it some intraday movement. That future's pulling back just a little bit in this Asia session. Okay, so there is something we could get this pullback on SPY on SPX starting from tomorrow, but it might take like a week to complete though. Nasdaq already broke out of this ascending wedge. Okay, so all of our support targets hit. It was wonderful. We broke through the resistance. Wonderful. Now the back test is about 15,731 here on the charts. 15,731. All right, so unless we have a major crash down, I mean, I'm not expecting us to pull back down this way anymore, but the November tapering is going to start at the end of this month. And the Federal Reserve chairman is speaking tomorrow and Tuesday, I believe, on the calendar. So you might see something like talk about that on CNBC and Bloomberg. But again, this Elliott wave, I'm clearly seeing 5 waves. Okay, 5 waves. We're getting A, B, C pullback. That's what I'm concerned about. All right, and then we'll end with just a few individual stocks. I did a lot of crypto today, probably too much crypto. But I want to pause here and let people know I am streaming live on TradingView, YouTube, Twitch, and I have a free Discord group. I'm more of a swing trader and a investor, so I'd focus on longer term setups. Okay, and I don't flip flop on my ideas every single 5 minutes or every like day. I set my idea, I do the TA, I set it in stone, and I let it go. I let it play out. I mean. So right now, this week, I'll just read off a couple of these big stock earnings we got. We got PayPal tomorrow. That's related to Elon Musk a little bit too, right? So just be careful of that. We have AMC Entertainment. That's a big one. Meme stock. Meme. I'll look at that one. We have Space, Virgin Galactic. Earnings report. Smile Direct Club, Coinbase, big. Neo Cars. DoorDash, food delivery, Plug Power, Ocugen. We have Helion, Cars, ACB, Aurora Cannabis, Disney, Beyond Meat, Wix, Blink Charging Company, Sundial Marijuana Company, AstraZeneca Vaccine. We have Eno Vaccine, like on Tuesday or something like that. And then BKKT, Backed Holdings, that's big crypto wallet. Some economic data we have coming out. We have producer price index, consumer price index. Fed Chair Powell is making announcements for 2 days straight. Unemployment claims on Thursday, crude oil inventories on Thursday, and consumer sentiment from the University of Michigan, preliminary data. I believe that's on Friday or Thursday. Should double check that. But all of that has an effect on the market. You can see that this week, it's kind of like all the other companies that's left over. We have 2 more weeks of big earnings, but these are some companies that have volatility, meme potential, or volatility. So half of these companies, I know day traders have their targets set on this. So I'm not saying hold through earnings. Don't do that. As a swing trader, I never do that. I might pick a few of these companies that I really know well, and track their earnings announcement, read all the data, all the updates, and then make a decision after that. Within the larger context of the S&P 500, that's a top-down approach. That's a very, I learned that from a big money manager from Merrill Lynch, who used to work at Merrill Lynch. That's how the big institutions do it. They take a top-down approach. They look big, they start zoomed out, and then they zoom way into the industries. So Bitcoin, that's why I'm doing the same thing. You zoom out, look at the whole market, zoom into Bitcoin, zoom into your altcoin. That's how you have a less chance of getting wrecked in the market. I do want to point out we do have these Bitcoin ETFs, although they're kind of underperforming a little bit here. The big one, BITO, the ProShares one, kind of faded down. So could turn to upside down head and shoulders, maybe. Right, Bitcoin rallies. This thing might go 6% for the breakout, back to the all-time high 43. Close. Nice potential. the smaller one, the smaller Valkyrie Bitcoin strategy ETF, um, is cheaper, but you know, less volatile, I guess. There's like two more or something Bitcoin ETFs that are supposed to launch apparently. So just watch out for that. I think we'll kind of wrap up here. I think I want to focus on maybe a couple of these big ones. Like let's focus on PayPal and AMC because that's big in the market. PayPal already, the PayPal Pinterest deal was kind of like strange. They kind of mismanaged that because they had a huge wedge breakdown right into earnings. This thing's already like in the oversold territory. That's why I'm watching PayPal closely. If they have great EPS, if they have great sales and revenue and the earnings estimates, they surprise that, beat those earnings, you could see a gap fill or you could see an intraday gap fill of like a 5 to 10% if something really, really good happens. But if something bad happens, you could go down 5%. It's just really interesting that it stopped right into the support zone. Maybe I'll draw it in yellow box here. So PayPal, very interesting trade opportunity if things go well for the earnings tomorrow. Because it's already oversold play. All it needs is some really, really good bullish earnings report for something good to happen to it. Next, AMC. Okay, everybody's favorite movie theater meme stock right here. Okay, so the big thing is with AMC is first off, we did kind of start to lose that momentum right here. This is kind of that last like hurrah moment for AMC in September. I remember trying to trade this, right? I got the bottom of here, traded to somewhere in the middle to the upper top here, and I just sold. And then we did kind of double bottom in the price at $35, which is cool. That's nice. But you can see a longer term descending triangle pattern right there. You see this on AMC? That's why I'm not super excited about AMC right now. Because even if it's double bottom, great. At a bull case, we could go straight up 25%. All right. So I'm very carefully watching that earnings. Um, should be tomorrow, I believe. I think it's, let me double check. I don't want to give bad information. Should be, it's tomorrow after market close. So it's after 1 o'clock. So probably like right at like 1:05 or something or 1:30. But you can see here, there was a double bottom support. Nice. And if we break above the double bottom target, $53 is our target on AMC. Not the greatest risk to reward, okay, because it's also a 20% downside. So not the greatest, but 10% to downside to get at least that 2-to-1 risk. I would not be surprised if Reddit traders try to pump this thing as hard as they can to try to get like a 50% bounce if the earnings are really, really good. I'm watching it because I know, at least in my country in USA, for a certain short period of time and during the summer, we did open up the lockdowns a little bit, and like people went out, and I remember people watched movies. Like they went out to like some movie theaters and concerts and stuff. So that's why I'm like, this earnings might be this different for this quarter on AMC. Um, so again, this is not a FOMO trade. Like we just planned it right now. We understood this is our resistance. We have three levels we're playing off of. It is kind of a giant bull flag type of triangle pennant. It's actually neither of those, but it's more like a descending triangle now. But you can kind of see it, the psychology. You went up and now you went sideways. So now we're just waiting on earnings. If somebody's going to try to do that one. Let me do space because Virgin Galactic, that's kind of all related to what's been happening with cars and stuff and space. So interesting thing here is we are like at a critical support level for Virgin Galactic. What happened is Richard Branson, I mean, he went to space and is totally successful, wonderful. huge achievement, and the stock market already priced that in. So now at earnings, it's all about the money now. Are they going to make money? Are they going to make new announcement about the consumer flights, right? Because it is at trendline support. So if you have really, really good earnings, like on May 12th, except this EPS and surprise was really bad, but there was a good enough fundamental news reason for this thing to go crazy up, right? So if it's going to happen again, this would be an interesting trade, right? This is very risky. This is very advanced level. Like for beginners, they should not try to play earnings because earnings is probably one of the hardest trades to do besides like breakout plays, FOMO plays. Is but if I'm putting on my investor hat now, I was like, hey, wait a second. If something really bullish could happen with this company on space, assuming Richard Branson doesn't retire or quit um, in the next 6 months to a year, is there could be some serious upside here. But it's been pummeled down by the bears. So this third, fourth time might be a little too obvious, the obvious trade. So it could pull it down. So I'm watching it, but I'm not jumping into it just yet. Let's see, what is another big one? Okay, I'm gonna do like a Coinbase because this is all crypto related stuff. I'll do Coinbase and like a backed. Maybe we'll do some ACB. Okay, I remember somebody was asking me a long time ago if that person should long here, and I said maybe not long there, maybe wait for a deeper pullback, and that was the correct spot to buy. Now that we're at earnings, though, the problem with this one is different. Is we rallied into earnings, so this is all about Bitcoin rally. So it's whatever news and stuff has already been priced in here a little earlier. So or faster. So something big has to happen with Coinbase, with their EPS and their revenue and sales and fundamental news and such. Okay. Like I'm expecting like they need to do something big, like a big partnership or a big deal or something like that for this rally to just go bonkers. Because if we have to think about it, anybody who bought at the IPO is breaking even right now. You have to realize that. Some people are scared because they were down 35% and now they made their money back. And some people are just like, I'm done with this. And there's some people are going to take their profit, but we are losing a little bit of momentum on daily. So the earnings has to be really, really good, or else looks like we might get some fading down on Coinbase. So watch out for that. Okay, I'll do one last one. Um, so let's do BKKT because that was such a huge rally, and then I have like one more question about IPO. Um, so here we go. BKKT backed. If you're not familiar with it, it's a big crypto wallet company. That had a partnership that's related to MasterCard. That's why we had this 500% rally in the market. So the thing is, though, it's very volatile. This is not for beginners. No way, right? This is for intermediate, advanced, and professional level of of trading and investing. Because when you're already up 300%, unless you have some good bullish news and momentum, you're probably going to fade down. And then what happens when you fade down? That means that big players, institutions, are going to short it down red like this or like this, right? So I guarantee you, there's somebody who longed this at the top, unfortunately, and just lost all his money, right? It's really unfortunate, but that stuff happens. I knew once we hit this 5 wave Elliott wave up here, I am not touching this thing up here until I get a deep pullback, and then I started trading back again here, right? Caught that, did some day trading in here, and since it's consolidating, I just stopped. Once stock has less momentum, like it doesn't matter anymore until earnings. So apparently on my calendar, it said we're going to get earnings, but apparently not. So sometimes it's tricky. Sometimes on TradingView it says it's earnings, and then on my broker it says it actually no earnings, or vice versa. Like TradingView will say no earnings, but on my broker it says earnings. So I just presume there might be backed announcement on Friday. If not, then we'll just wait for it, right? Okay, and we have one last request about an IPO play, MYNZ. Let me just make sure this is the correct one for this person. Is it Maine's Biomed? Is this the one you're talking about? I mean, obviously IPO, but I want to make sure. So, not much liquidity. Let me check. Let me check something. Check some of the stats on MYNZ. Wow, it's so new. It's not even on my. It's not even There's not much volume. Okay, so for this type of thing, I mean, it's so small and so um, yeah, so small, but it's fading down on the charts, right? So this 5 minute, I mean, it did double bottom, but it's in a 5 minute downtrend right now. Um, like this, just hit that lower low. So if it is gonna go, it might bounce up to like a 1048. Um, but again, this is such a small, low liquid coin. I can guarantee you that people are just gonna focus on Tesla like this week. Tomorrow, it's all gonna be Tesla, PayPal, AMC, GameStop, um, Space. You're gonna see movement like Plug Power, Neo. Like this is what everyone is getting ready for, Coinbase. So while their attention are all on those stocks for trading and investing, MYNZ has very light trading. So I would watch out for this, even though it did hit a relative short term bottom. So if I were to play this with a very small amount of capital for because this is a very volatile liquid stock, it would probably be something like this, like a 10% upside if you're just trying to day trade it or swing trade it, right? But if you're investing it, none of this intraday stuff really matters that much. It's just you kind of want to see a big bottom though. Um, like I do, like you asked me this question a long time ago. Is I know you're more like a day trader or scalper type. Um, but if you're an investor, you kind of need to see a lot more information. Intraday doesn't really it matters only until a certain point because for day trading, right? But if you're um, okay. Yeah. So yeah, it's just if you're gonna try and trade it like that, is you gotta have a stop loss. You know what I'm saying? If you just buy it and go all in, that's like there's no plan. That's gambling. So let's go back to BKKT. Bull flag on BKKT. This is not really a bull flag. This is not really a bull flag because the bull flag, if it was like a normal one, it should have just looked like this or like this. Um, this is so dragged out, it's not really a flag anymore, in my opinion. That's why I'm careful on this on BKKT. It's actually in a 1 hour downtrend if you're very sensitive to it. If you like um, zoom in like this, okay. So I wouldn't be surprised on this BKKT if we get downside to like $30 or 29. Because shorts, once they sense that the bulls are not going to buy anymore, they're going to try to push it down as far as they can, and then the bulls will buy it. This is why I'm interested on BKKT at like maybe 31.96 small, but if it fades down to 27, gets pushed down, that's why I'm looking to enter somewhere in this blue circle range because I want it to flush down, let the shorts do whatever they want to do, let crash this thing to oblivion, and then get that last long trade. There is some momentum building on the H1. That's why this thing's not over yet. H4 is building, but the 1H, there's some momentum building. But usually what happens is you get some flush down a little bit of the next trading day. So I'm expecting maybe that to happen, like a 30 or 27 over like a 1 or 2 weeks, and then I'm looking to enter that when the shorts have so much pressure they have to stop, and then there'll be like a little baby short squeeze on that one day. So, all right. Um, Hopefully that helped everyone. I know I was talking very fast today, but I tried to do a lot of TA. We probably did over 60 charts today. And, you know, I'm a technical analyst. That's why you see me. I don't really do like news or IPO stuff at all. So there are other traders and Discord groups who do that, even here on TradingView. So I do more swing and investing trading using technical analysis. Um, so thank you so much for watching, everybody. I hope this helped you in some way. I gave a lot of setups, educational setups. You can do whatever you want with those. And I am streaming live on TradingView, YouTube, Discord, and Twitch. I have that free Discord group open where I give a free basic weekly watch list every week about the stock indexes, what are support and resistance targets, anything earnings or data related, and some cryptocurrency support and resistance targets. And when I have time, I do um, the monthly charts, weekly charts for like S&P 500 and crypto, which that's probably coming up next. And yes, you know, we have a last question. USA, we do not really trade XRP anymore because it got kicked off all the exchanges basically. So XRP is basically right now an internationally only. It's a non-USA crypto. It used to be USA, and it used to be like really uh, nice project with some good prospects on it. But yeah, but they can't. We can't trade it in the USA because they got delisted by the SEC, Security Exchange Commission. So you have to realize um, this is probably a good ending idea is that even if we do 100 charts, the fundamental news of stocks or the crypto, like real world legal and corporate issues, could reverse and supersede the charts, right? If Elon Musk quits Tesla as the CEO suddenly, that will probably be bad for Tesla. That's going to override my technical analysis I just did on the today. You know what I mean? Like if Bitcoin gets banned in America for some reason, that's going to override the charts. Charts doesn't matter at that. Whatever the setup was, it's going to just fail, right? Um, so for stocks and crypto, please keep in mind that the fundamentals, the news, it still matters. Technical analysis is just one part of the puzzle, of the piece of the puzzle. All right. So thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you give me a follow and like on any of these platforms. If you like this stream, you learned something, go ahead and give me a cheer or donation on TradingView or YouTube. Be highly appreciated. Keep the stream going. Hope you have a nice week, and we'll check in with the markets this weekend. Thank you. Goodbye.